Every summer, millions of children, teenagers, and parents head to their local amusement park seeking a fun-filled day of thrills. Most people, especially younger people, don't really consider how dangerous just being at an amusement park can actually be. Yet every season, the reports come pouring in of people seriously injured or horrifically killed while enjoying a day at the amusement park. Skyhawk is the world's tallest screaming swing, at 125 feet. It has two giant arms that swing rides at speeds up to 60 miles per hour. On July 28, 2014, one of the cables snapped and struck a mother and her daughter. The mother was taken to the emergency room, where she was diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury. Directly following the accident, the ride was shut down for an investigation. The ride reopened on August 1, 2014. There was a horrific scene at Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom in the summer of 2007. The accident occurred on the Superman Tower of Power, which is essentially a free-fall thrill ride about 200 feet high. The ride was operating as normal until a cable snapped and gruesomely severed the legs of a 13-year-old named Caitlin Lassiter, cutting off her feet at the ankles. 4 rides, including the Superman ride, were closed due to the horrific scene in the park. Lassiter was rushed to the hospital, where doctors reattached her right foot. Unfortunately, her left foot was unable to be saved and was eventually amputated. In June 2008, 17-year-old teenage boy is hurt by the Batman ride in Atlanta's Six Flags Over Georgia theme park. The boy was not riding the Batman roller coaster at the time of his death. He was instead struck by the coaster after he entered the restriction zone of the ride. Officials claim that the boy jumped 2 separate safety fences in an attempt to find a lost hat when he was struck and killed. The ride was closed for a day and was officially reopened and announced to be safe for passengers. In July 2001, at Blackpool's Pleasure Beach in Lancashire, England, an 11-year-old boy named Christopher Sharrett was killed after falling out of the Space Invader ride. The 3 boys had been at the park all day riding different rides, and everything was normal until they went around a corner on Space Invader. A 15-year-old friend riding with Christopher reported seeing him begin to fall out of the ride, even though the seatbelt was still fastened. Christopher fell onto another track on the ride and was fatally struck by more than one car. Even though the seatbelt failed to keep the boy safely in his seat, an investigation deemed that the death was accidental. On August 7, 2016, a horrific accident at Schlitterbahn Water Park in Kansas City left the world stunned. When 10-year-old Caleb Schwab went down the extreme 168-foot Verrückt slide, the tallest water slide in the world, he was ejected out of the raft and suffered fatal injuries to his neck. The 2 women who were riding the raft with Caleb have been speaking out in the media about possible negligence by the workers at Schlitterbahn. There is currently an investigation taking place, as people have come forward claiming that there have been other close calls on the Verrückt slide in the past, with safety straps coming loose and people nearly being thrown out. The Verrückt slide has since been closed and is not expected to reopen for the rest of the year.